Just, can you let me stand up? Ugh, back in the corner I go. It's the second Sunday in May. You know what that means. It's time to celebrate that important six-lettered lady that begins with M. Mothra. That's right, it's Mothra's Day, and we're going to celebrate the hell out of her adorable, caring self, from her gorgeous blue eyes to her fuzzy thorax and dusty wings. The best way I can think of doing this is to play her game. So, let's bone up on Mothra, Monster of Monsters for the NES. Oh, hold on, I guess I got something wrong. I guess it's Godzilla, Monster of Monsters. Weird. Godzilla, Monster of Monsters. Ugh, that just sounds weird. Is definitely a game. Released in Japan in 1988, and then in North America in 1989, Godzilla Monster of Monsters was developed by Compile, and published by TOHO, the Japanese film company that largely produces the franchise. Godzilla Monster of Monsters puts you in control of Mothra, and to a lesser extent Godzilla, as you trounce around the solar system to get to Planet X, which appeared after Neptune and Pluto swapped positions in the solar system? Now, Pluto is where Neptune was, and Planet X is where Pluto and Neptune is... Frickin', I don't know, I didn't study cosmetology. The point is, everything sucks, and Planet X is trying to take over Earth with an array of monsters from not only Godzilla films, but from other, less important TOHO films. Actually, even though Baragon is originally from Frankenstein Conquers the World in 1965, they made an appearance in 1968's Destroy All Monsters, but most notably as one of the main protagonists in Godzilla, Mothra, and King Ghidorah Giant Monsters All Out Attack in 2001. Also, Baragon is cute as hell. Your goal is to get to Planet X and duke it out with King Ghidorah.
The King of Kings. Bow down to the King. Bow down to the King.
To save the Earth from complete domination from the Exilians. Xilians? Aliens. To save the Earth from aliens. Gameplay is broken down into 3 different components. After starting the game, you're brought to a hexagonal grid, which you must navigate Mothra and that other guy to the headquarters, generally located on the opposite side of the map, and advance to the next planet. You move your dudes like chess pieces, Mothra moving 4 because she's cool and fast, and Godzilla trudging along with like only 2 moves per turn. After selecting your moves, your character must complete that many side-scrolling segments of varying flavors. Spicy, leafy, metal, blue, and some others, loaded with enemies and obstacles to mildly inconvenience you. Mothra and Godzilla have different attacks and playstyles. Playing as Mothra feels like a Gradius-style shoot-'em-up as you fly through the level spitting tomatoes at the enemies and using your special poisonous dust attack that looks like your wings are falling off. That latter attack uses up your power gauge. Just when I think that playing Mothra is the easier of the two, she gets knocked down and stun-locked for like a century. Godzilla is a bit different, not having the ability to fly, but having a larger selection of attacks. Quick punches and kicks, a crouching tail whip, and his special atomic breath. All of which can be performed while jumping, for maximum destruction, and silliness. If your turn ends adjacent to an enemy monster, you begin a hyper fight, which almost feels like some sort of watered-down fighting game. Using your sick button-mashing skills from the side-scrolling levels, you fight various monsters of varying coolness, littered on each planet, each with their own unique music and blank background. You wail on these dudes until they die, or the time limit that the game doesn't show you runs out. You can start the fight again with the life totals remaining the same. Really makes you wonder why the hell they put the time limit there in the first place. Oh, That's why. If you get the enemy down to a certain amount of HP, he can choose to run away, robbing you of glory or a potential level up. Level ups are rewarded occasionally for beating certain boss monsters, as well as completing certain boss-esque tiles. This increases your max life and max power, capping at level 16. It isn't until later planets that you'll see monsters that you give a crap about, like Gigan, Mechagodzilla, and Ghidorah. But the other big boys will be burned into your brain because each time you land on a new planet, surprise, everyone you just fought on the planet you just came from is here with a new friend, who joins their merry band to the next planet, until you get to Planet X, where you have to go through a gauntlet of every monster you've encountered, with King Ghidorah as the cherry on top. Get past to the headquarters and the game is over. Godzilla Monster of Monsters isn't a very in-depth game, and quite honestly it's a bit on the tedious side. With very little variation in gameplay aside from things just taking longer to do, this game took me around 4 hours to beat, and I'd be lying if I said I was enjoying myself the entire time. If you're a big Godzilla / TOHO kaiju fan, this game is a must-have. It's definitely a bit of a slog though, especially in the latter half. Yeah, this is the part where I bring up the famous Godzilla creepypasta that is synonymous with this game to the point of showing up in search results before the actual game. Depicting a cursed cartridge of Godzilla Monster of Monsters that is filled with disturbing and upsetting imagery meant to instill a primal sense of fear in the player. Not gonna lie, this story is one of the driving factors to me wanting to play this game. Give it a read one day, if you want a quick scare. Unfortunately, you won't get anything like that from the actual game. That I'm glad to have in my game collection. It's a long game, but not necessarily challenging. Great to just play mindlessly if you want to chill. Though it might not be the best video game in the world, any game that prominently features Mothra is top tier in my book. And even though today is definitely Mothra's Day, I think we should also use this day to celebrate Monster of Monsters as well. But Godzilla Monster of Monsters Day doesn't quite roll off the tongue nearly as well. We could just abbreviate it to Mom Day? Yeah, that sounds pretty alright. Mom Day. Speaking of, my mom is calling me? Hello?
For all I've done for you in your lifetime, you are so inconsiderate that you would actually forget me.
What did I
You
forget?
better stop pulling this shit and have more respect for your mother.
What do you mean?
Do you happen to know what day this is?
Of course I know what day it is. Do you know what day it is?
How could you, of all days, forget Mother's Day?
Whoops.
I'm not very happy with this at all. I love you anyway. Bye.
Happy Mother's Day?
All the years I took care of you, I can't.
Yeah, man.
Cancel that.